Assalamu alaikum, everybody.
Assalamu alaikum.
We'll just wait for some minutes.
That's what I was going to say, guys. She's cheating. No kidding. She never cheats. I love my mommy so much. And I love you guys so much.
And how are you all? Please write and say where you're from in the comments. Say Assalamu alaikum. Please comment on what we're about to talk about, inshallah.
If any of you are new, my name's Layla, and I'll be going to play because mommy interrupted me. Okay, bye. If any of you need me, my mom will call me.
Inshallah. So please write where you're from in the comments. Say Assalamu alaikum. Let us know how you are all doing. And we can begin soon. Today, this is Trending Tuesdays, and quite often we talk about the trending stories from the week before on Tuesdays, and we talk about a variety of topics. And whilst I'm talking, it's a good chance for you to say your opinion on these stories that have been trending, or some of our top stories from the previous week. Assalamu alaikum, brother Akbar. How are you doing? How are you doing all the way in India? Layla was here, but she's gone to play. She might pop again soon, inshallah. You're from Gujarati in India, mashallah. Hi, I hope it's all well there. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Jules. How are you, dear? Layla's playing at the moment. So I am every Tuesday here doing a live session, sometimes with the presence of Layla, and we discuss the top stories of the previous week, as I've explained, or some of the stories, not all, of course. So today we'll be discussing some of those, and I want your comments, inshallah. So please let me know how you are and where you're from, and please comment on the stories that we are going to talk about. I'm glad you're fine, brother. Alhamdulillah, this is good. Assalamu alaikum, Ben. How are you doing, brother? I hope you're doing okay. Assalamu alaikum, Masood. How are you doing? Inshallah, you're doing fine as well. So please, as I said, make sure you comment and tell us, this is not just about me. Love to you as well, Jules. Alhamdulillah. I hope you're doing fine. Layla's shouting Jules. She's playing at the moment, but she's shouting Jules. Oh, you're from Kashmir, Masood. MashaAllah. I hope you are fine over there. Assalamu alaikum, Syed, also from Kashmir, MashaAllah. We have a lot of followers from there. Assalamu alaikum, Halda, Hassan, Layla, salam, brother. I remember you every time because your name is Layla, like not your name, but your mother is Layla, like my daughter, alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum, Omar from a Muslim Center, Detroit. MashaAllah. How is Detroit? I'm in Canada at the moment. We live there. We live here at the moment. So we're quite close. I mean, I know it's still massive because Canada and the US are huge. But, neighbours and all that. I'm originally from the UK. We've just moved here a year ago almost now. Assalamu alaikum, Khan, from home of the Quraysh bloodline, mashallah. Right, so today we are going to talk about some very nice... Jules is shouting, hi, Layla, back. So... as I said, for those just joining, we do talk about the trending topics or the hot stories. I select so many of them from the week before and we discuss. Assalamu alaikum, Zishan from Kolkata. How are you doing there? How is the weather in Kolkata right now? Is it night? I'm assuming you're at night time right now, right, in India. So, flowers for you, Layla. Subhanallah. She's telling you flowers back, Halda. She's sending you flowers back. I'm a mix. My sister, Arabian, Kurdish, Palestinian, and Hafsahin in MashaAllah Khan. That's really interesting. Really nice mixture there. Very good. So let's start with the first story of the week. Oh, wait a minute. Let me read a few more comments and then I will start with the first story, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum, Mohammed Haroon. How are you doing, brother? Assalamu alaikum, Mohammed Shahir from Italy. Very nice. How is it in Italy, brother? Assalamu alaikum, Mohammed Amir from Pakistan. Please remember me in your dua. Sure, brother, and may Allah bless you and your family with many happiness and all that you're asking for, as well as health and piety, and to inshallah in this life and the next. Assalamu alaikum, Zijan. How are you doing? Salam, alhamdulillah, sister. A pleasure to meet you. It's a pleasure to meet you as well, Omar. And Ben is from Bangladesh, mashallah. So I'm assuming you're in the night time now, right, Ben? Let us know. So we're going to the first story now, which, with great sadness, as you all know, is about what happened in New Zealand. And we have been covering this extensively. Of the stories that we've covered are performing excellent in our website. It was such a heartbreaking day on Friday when we were waking up to what had happened in New Zealand. And of course, if you'd witnessed it, what's happening even at the time of New Zealand, because obviously they are several hours ahead of most of us. I think it's so hard to comprehend that something like that could happen, but at the same time, not really a surprise that this is happening, because the far right are on the rise and, you know, full of hate. The first story that I want to talk to you about is about the man who actually saved so many lives in the second mosque that the attacker went to. So, I mean, 51 people died, and may Allah grant them all paradise, because they died as martyrs for sure in the prayer, about to pray on a Friday. So what this person didn't realize was that actually he gave them the best afterlife that possible, because now, inshallah, they are in paradise as martyrs, Ya Rab. However, it's still shocking and still very hard for anyone to comprehend that such a peaceful act of worship, just as simple as going to pray, ended up with 51 people losing their lives. And in the way it was done, very grotesque as well. I mean, live streaming, it's just unbelievable that somebody can be that evil inside them, I believe. And, you know, it's hard to put into words what I think any of us are feeling, because it's so heartbreaking, the stories that we hear from the guy who greeted him at the mosque with "Hello, brother," which, in my opinion, signals what is Islam, to the many heroes of that day who sacrificed their lives to save others. And indeed, the guy we're about to talk about now, he says he's no hero, but he actually prevented more deaths by tackling the terrorist. And I'm going to use that word because that's exactly what he is. Abdulaziz is a 48-year-old father of 4. He picked up a gun the killer had abandoned, pointed it, squeezed the trigger, but it was empty. The terrorist ran back to the car to get another gun. So Aziz threw the gun, hurled it at the car's window, and it shattered. So the terrorist, the coward, he threw the gun at, he got scared and drove off. If it weren't for Aziz, the Imam of the mosque later said, if it weren't for the actions of Aziz, probably he would have wiped all of them out in the second mosque as well. So really, may Allah bless Brother Aziz and give him all what's good in this world and all what's good in the hereafter, inshallah, because he saved so many lives. And he was such an act of bravery. He didn't think about himself at all, or that, you know, he could have also been shot. He didn't think about that. He just thought about he had to save lives. So may he be rewarded, I mean. And there are so many, I've just put the link of his story, but there are so many other stories that we are hearing about now that are coming out about so many people who try to do what they can to save lives, Muslims or non-Muslims. The one that we're featuring on our website is about the Nigerian imam who saved so many lives as well that day. But there are so many of non-Muslims as well. And I'm sure you've seen the videos of the New Zealand lady who tried to, you know, she was helping one man and the other man opposite her, and she was so sad she couldn't get to him. And there was a New Zealand man who helped pull Muslims over his back garden to safety. So as heartbreaking as this incident is, and it really is, and, you know, we don't have words at all. And as Mohammed Shahir just said, our hearts are bleeding after the New Zealand attack, and they really are. But what we see in such horrible atrocities is the real humanity that's through people all over, no matter whether they're Muslims or not. The vigils that people are holding, my town alone has had 2 and is having a 3rd one today. That's 3 vigils they've had since this attack. I attended one on Saturday, and they had one yesterday in the church. They had one in a church yesterday, and the university here, one of the universities here, is having one today. And these vigils are all over. I mean, Canada feels this as well, because it's just 2 years since a good man opened fire on Muslims in Quebec. So, you know, this pain is raw. And I was actually interviewed by a reporter at the vigil, and she said, why does it matter? Why does it matter for, well, how does it affect Muslims? So I said, in our religion, we're taught that when one Muslim is hurt, all of us are hurt. And I think that really signifies what happened. None of us can quite believe what's happened. None of us can get our heads around that, you know, you're about to pray and someone can do such an evil act and film it live as well. And, you know, you hear about these individuals that we would never have met in our whole life, and the amazing things that they've done, or just, you know, they're getting on with their lives. They came to New Zealand for better life and so on, and they are shot down like that. So may Allah give them the highest of paradise, inshallah. May Allah grant their families patience, and may Allah give all of us patience at this time, because it is scary times we're living in, and we do have to be on the look at people now, and that's the reality of it all. So people like Brother Abdul Aziz and many others who saved lives that day, really may Allah bless them, and in this life and in the next, I mean. And it will take us quite a while to get over this, but, you know, we have to take the beauty of what we're seeing from all around the world, especially in New Zealand. This can't even say it, but this person, if we can call him that, he wanted to divide us. He wanted to cause hate. He wanted people to hate Muslims. But look what it's done. On the actual opposite, actually. And so many people now are going to mosques. So many people now are wanting to protect Muslims. So many non-Muslims are saying, we're going to walk with you if you're afraid to go to pray. So many of them have held vigils. So many of them have left flowers at mosques and gone into mosques just to express their condolences. And it's, as usual, it's making people more interested in our religion. So he's actually not done what he set out to do. And, you know, this is as hard as it is, because people had to die for this, but he's actually made more people interested in Islam. And again, what struck me like it struck so many is the first man that got shot and killed, who said, hello, brother, this is Muslims. And this is what real Islam is all about. And this is why, and his words are so simple yet so powerful, show what we all have to do now. We have to just show kindness, irrespective of what the hatred is growing. And, you know, we can only beat this with love and tolerance among each other. And it sounds weak and it sounds feeble, but that's the only way. And if these two words, hello, brother, or he said salam, I assume, imagine the most peaceful word you can say just before you're about to die. And that signals what a real Muslim is and what Islam is. So we have to take lessons from this, and we really do have to come together with all our communities, whether Muslim or not, and just show love, show tolerance, show peace. Inshallah, the good always outwins the evil, even though it doesn't feel like that right now. But we have to have faith and a hope in Allah, because Allah knows, we don't. And Allah is all wise. Allah knows best. So I'm sure that these people have not died in vain. There will always be something good to come out of this, and we have to remember that, inshallah. So it's really difficult live, so I won't spend too much more on it. I will read your comments. But other than that, I don't want to speak more because I can feel myself getting very emotional. So Jasmine says, SubhanAllah, Khan, Shaheeds are indeed to Jannah. They never die. They listen to and reward of Jannah by promise as Allah. Exactly. Ibrahim, I can't read Arabic, brother, but I think you said something. Inshallah. 5 people and Imam Musa from Gujarat in an attack. I'm so sorry to hear about that, brother. We are living in very horrible times. Really, we are. Jasmine is saying Ameen. Brother Ibrahim is saying Ameen. Yes, there was a reverted sister there, Jasmine. Her name was Linda. And, you know, she's featured in one of our articles of the victims. Let's not call them victims. They're not. Let's call them martyrs. And Muhammad says Ameen. So I'm sure you're all praying for them, and you all have been as well. So let's just keep them all in our thoughts. And can I just say what a fantastic leader Jacinda Ardern is? And, you know, may she be guided, because she's shown so much love and respect. It's really great to see a leader, a true leader, do that. And we don't see that very often nowadays, do we? So, alhamdulillah. So, the next article I want to move on to is all about Qiyam al-Layl, or the night prayer. As you all know, we are coming up to Ramadan, but a lot of you are very disciplined and very good, and you do this anyway, whether it's Ramadan or not. MashaAllah. And we have to understand that actually this night prayer, there is a lot of benefit and reward if we do it. Of course, many of us do it in Ramadan because we get hefty rewards, alhamdulillah. You know, some of you will call it Taraweeh, some of you call it Tahajjud, some of you might call it Witr. Anyway, the night prayer, it has such benefits and such significance to our life. So it's really important for us all to do this prayer as much as we can, inshallah. Salam wa alaikum salam, Ibrahim. How are you doing, brother? Jazakallah khair, Muhammad. He says, may Allah protect you, sisters. Remember the Prophet endured hardship. Yes, he did. Abdullah say, it's so sad. May Allah forgive them and grant them the highest level of Jannah. Ameen, brother. Ameen. So going back to the night prayer. So, of course, we all strive hard to do our best to pray this in Ramadan, because, of course, the benefits and rewards are even higher than ever. But we should try and do it as much as we can during the normal days as well. And what a good time to start, really, in Rajab, just before Ramadan. So, Qiyam al-Layl actually translates literally as stand during the night. It is a voluntary prayer which is offered between the time of Aisha prayer or Fajr. But the best time to do it is in the last third of the night, if possible. So, as close to Fajr as you can. Like I said, some of us call it Tahajjud, some of us call it Taraweeh, especially in Ramadan we call it Taraweeh, some of us call it Witr. It holds great rewards and blessings for any Muslims who sacrifice sleep to stand in front of Allah and pray. And an example of how important it is in the Quran. In fact, there's few verses in the Quran. I'm just going to quote you one. And some parts of the night keep vigil, for it is an additional prayer for you. Maybe that your Lord will raise you up to a praised position. That's in the Quran 1779. So you can check that out. And also there is hadith from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said you should pray Qiyam ul-Layl, for it is the... I can't read my writing now. For it is the... I really can't read what I wrote. Oh, the custom of the righteous who came before you, and it brings you close to your Lord and expiates sins and prevents misdeeds. And that is in At-Tirmidhi 3549. That is that hadith. So that tells you exactly just how important praying the night prayer is. It actually expiates sins and it raises us closer to Allah. So it's a really good way to get more reward, inshallah. So let's try as much as we can to do it. And of course, it's a good time to start practicing for that, ready for Ramadan, which is just a matter of weeks away now, brothers and sisters. So it is a good time to start that prayer. Tina is saying, Ameen, Jazakallah khair, sister. And Budal, no Muslim is safe. May Allah protect every single Muslim. And not even in Muslim majority countries, it's true. No one is safe anywhere anymore. But it's the world we live in, unfortunately. And yes, may Allah protect every single Muslim. Ameen. Now, the next story, or the next article that did really well last week before the horrible events of Friday, is 5 reasons why we should love Rajab. Many of us neglect this month. Many of us don't really see it as important. However, we must remember that Rajab is the starter of the season of goodwill. Not just that, but it opens the gates to Ramadan. It's the gate opener to Ramadan. So we must really strive to do what we can to prepare ourselves and to train ourselves in this month, inshallah. So why? There are 5 things here. And, we can get so many blessings from this month as well. So let's see what we can gain from Rajab. Rajab is the start of the spiritual season that will end with Eid al-Fitr at the end of Ramadan. So we have to put that in our minds. This is the start of the holy time, or the holy months. And it's the start of a very spiritual, uplifting time that most of us go through during Ramadan. And we can start training ourselves. We can start doing things that help, so that, we don't just get to Ramadan and that's that. We can start doing voluntary fasting. We can start praying more sunnah prayers. We can start reading Quran. All this is training for Ramadan, inshallah. So it is the start of the spiritual season. So it's a good time to start all that, inshallah. And of course, to get excited. I mean, who doesn't love Ramadan? I think most of us do. and it's a good time to really, start feeling that feeling that we can only ever seem to feel in Ramadan, subhanallah. The second reason is we should not fight others at all. I don't mean physically and verbally. We shouldn't be fighting others because it's one of the sacred months. Rajab is actually one of the 4 sacred months of the Islamic calendar, and Allah has prescribed that no Muslim should fight during these months. It is also a good time that we can try and control our anger, squash our ego and pride. And of course, it's good nafs training for Ramadan, because in Ramadan, of course, all this behavior should be in check. So it's really good behavior, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum, Hayatul Karimi. I am doing fine. How are you doing? We should not transgress the sacred limits. In other words, we shouldn't sin. We shouldn't anyway, but we should definitely avoid it in this month, as it is worse than other times. Rajab is known as the season of forgiving. Rajab is the month of seeking forgiveness. So seek forgiveness from Allah. He is verily the forgiver and the merciful. This is what Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said about Rajab. So no better time to start repenting and turning back to Allah. And lastly, the night journey happened in this month. And I'm sure many of you know what the night journey is, but in case you don't, this is when Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam ascended to the heavens, and it is the time when we got told how many times to pray. And for your information, we have lots of information now on the website about the night journey, and in our Discovering Islam section. So it's a really good idea for you to go over there and catch up if you're not aware of the story. They have been doing it in segments. It's a beautiful story. It's really beautifully written by one of our writers. So please feel free. Go over to the section of Discovering Islam and you will find it there, inshallah. Or if you just search Night Journey or Isra and Miraj, but I think you will probably find it under the Night Journey, then you will find it, inshallah. So that's also a beautiful 5 reasons why we should all enjoy Rajab, or, we should use this time, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum, Arif. How are you doing? Jazakallah khair, Hayatul. I am proud of all of you. Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum, Ajiz. How are you? And how's my niece, Layla? Well, Layla's playing, but she's good. Alhamdulillah. And I am good as well, sister. I hope you are doing well as well. Now, we are having our last article that I want to talk to you about, and it is, of course, what should I ask a potential spouse? Now, many of you are all spring chickens, and you are all young, and you are all in the prime of your youth. Alhamdulillah. So many of you will start to be thinking about marriage soon, inshallah. So you may think to yourself, well, what is it I should be asking any potential spouse that comes my way? And we have a list for you. This article is really nice and it helps a lot. So please feel free to click on it and have a look at it in details. I'm going to just brief it. But if you have suggestions, then please feel free to write them. What do you think we should ask potential spouses to be? It's a very important decision, is marriage. Of course, nobody gets married to divorce. We all want to be in it for the long haul. Of course, divorce happens due to certain things, but in general, most people don't get married to split up. They get married to stay together for the rest of their lives, inshallah. So it is really essential that we get it right from the beginning. So what we must do, first of all, is submit our case sincerely to Allah. So when you're thinking about marriage, you need to ask Allah's help to send you the right persons your way and to help you find the right person that will suit you, inshallah. We also should renew our intention. Why are we getting married? Why do we want to get married? Are we sure that marriage is for us right now, and so on? Me too, Jules. Jules saying she's young and in the prime of her youth. And I'm just telling her I am too. Of course we are, Jules, you know. We're not old.
Always have the right suggestion, Mommy.
Layla says Jules always has the right suggestions. So I'm with you, Jules. Layla said so. So there you go. We're both young and in the prime of our youth. May Allah bless us with many, 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 many more youthful years, inshallah. And Jasmine is the same as Jules. Okay. We should also ask potential spouses, what is the purpose in life and how is this marriage fulfilling it? Oh, this is going to be a deep conversation, isn't it, when you've just first met the person? But it is important, maybe not when you first meet them, you know, you don't want to scare them off. But eventually, before you think about engagement, you might want to ask that question. It is important, but not as soon as you're introduced, you know, Assalamu alaikum. So what is the purpose in life? And now is this marriage going to fulfill it? Might not be such a good idea from the start. I would wait probably a couple more times before you start going too deep. And of course, you should choose a spouse of the deen. Make sure your future husband or future wife is practicing Islam as much as possible, and they are going to give you your rights, inshallah. What else should you ask? Because it's really important. First of all, you want to know, how does this person deal with disagreements? Now, it's not a good idea to say to somebody, how do you deal with disagreements? Because they can lie and they can tell you what they want to hear. So it's a good idea for you to observe, if there ever is a disagreement, how they deal with this, and then decide, is this good? Is it not good? Inshallah. You did make me laugh with that, Jules. Ajiz is saying Salaam alaikum to you, Layla.
Hi, Ajiz.
She's saying hi, Ajiz. So yeah, you can't always say, so how do you deal with it? You can ask them, but you then must watch to make sure that what they've said is what they do. And the same goes with anger. Of course, you can't say, how do you react when you're angry? Because again, they can tell you what they want, but it's something that you should really observe and take into account, inshallah. For women, you should ask your husband to be, don't ask him when you're married, ask him before. How should you treat a woman according to the Quran and Sunnah? It's very important. If he's not going to do that, then bye-bye. Another question that both of you should ask is, how do you want to raise the kids? This is so important. So important. Yes, you are not married yet. You may not have even decided how many kids you would like, or even if, but you have to be on the same ground more or less when it comes to raising the kids. Because if you start having those fights whilst you have kids about how to raise the kids, it's going to be disaster. You want to be able to feel comfortable together that you're going to grow together in the deen. So you should be saying to this person, how are you going to help me grow in my deen? Are you going to teach me? Are you going to help me? And so on. And it goes both ways, man and woman. A woman should ask, and a man should ask actually, first of all, the woman should ask the man, what's his vision for his wife? And he should ask, what's the vision for a husband? This will iron out so many problems before you even get married, because it's really important. For example, maybe the man doesn't want the woman to go out to work. He might be happy for her to work from home, but he doesn't want her to go outside to work. If you don't know that before you get married, and you have it in your head that you're going to be some hot career girl, then it's going to be a big fight when you are married. So you need to ask these kind of questions before. What do you want from me as a wife? What do you want from me as a husband? It's essential. Then you will build on it together, inshallah, as you grow together. But it's really important to know, is he looking for something that you can give? Or is she looking for something that you can give? If they are not, and they are really contrasting, then it's not worth it. What about how are you going to help me spiritually? This is really important. You know, Islam is not just a set of rules. It's not just a set of rituals. It's not code. Islam is really filling the soul and filling the spirit. And we have to really work on our spirituality. So we can do this together as a man and wife, and we should. Does he pray in the masjid regularly if he's living near one? Obviously, I know that in some countries like maybe Canada or the US, there are places that don't always have a masjid in the near to them. But if he's living near a masjid, does he go and pray regularly like a man should? What sheikhs and scholars does he listen to? Very important. And also, where are the sources of Islamic knowledge? This is also very important. How does each one deal with the opposite agenda if if you're still in college or if you are in the work? How are you dealing? You don't want somebody who's flirty and, you know, this kind of behavior. You want somebody who's treating them respectfully but knows the boundaries. How do you deal? What do you know about lowering the gaze if you're a man, or jealousy from both sides? How is that? You know, all these questions are essential to ask and to somehow discuss before you get married, because it's really important. You know, we have to, I mean, you're going to face many problems as a married couple, subhanAllah, but these things can be ironed out before you get married, so it's really important. Hayatullah says, I really want to listen to you, dear sister. I'm from Afghanistan. You're so soft-hearted. Jazakallah khair. Allah helps you all the time. I pray for you. I'm praying for you as well. May Allah bless you and help you also. MashaAllah, I pray to you and for my niece. I'm praying for you as well, Aziz. Jazakallah khair, wallahi azim. And I'm trying to scroll now to see the others, and I'll talk to you about some of the things before we finish, inshallah. The Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Islam began as something strange and will return as something strange as it began. So give glad tidings to the strangers. Jazakallah khair, Budul Bashka, for that. It's a really, really important reminder, and I'm very happy that you wrote that. Jazakallah khair. Jules, how to raise kids? Yes, huge concern and conversation. It really is. You have to be on the same wavelength when it comes to these things. You can't just suddenly have a baby and then decide to say, how are we going to raise it? You have to know how before, and you have to do all your compromising and working your way out and everything, inshallah. Sister, pray for us because in our home is, mashallah, you have a new baby, inshallah, in your house. Mashallah, may Allah bless this baby. It's a baby girl. May Allah bless her with Ajiz. May Allah bless this baby to be one of the righteous, inshallah, and may she give you many blessings and she has a very long, happy life, ameen, and may Allah protect her always, ameen. Budul, sometimes it's good to compromise. The main purpose of life is to please Allah, rest you can forgo. Well, marriage is all about compromises, actually, and yes, that's why you have to talk about these things before you get married, so you're both aware of where you're going and exactly where you can compromise. It's another good reminder from Budul. Please pray for work, Bilal. Well, may Allah help you find a job that's suitable for you, brother, and that you enjoy. May Allah bless you with a very good job that brings you happiness and income, because it is important, and may you get it soon, ameen. Assalamu alaikum, Diane from New Hampshire. How are you doing, sister? I hope you are doing well. And how can I get in touch with me personally? I don't give out my personal stuff, but if you want to get in touch with the website, we have, you can contact us. It depends if you want to speak to a counsellor or a scholar. and I can give you those links, inshallah. So I want to talk to you now about our Telegram channel. Many of you ask us, are you on WhatsApp? And we're not, because WhatsApp doesn't have security as of yet, because that means if we have WhatsApp group, our numbers will be out there, and of course we don't want that. So we have a Telegram channel that you can subscribe to. You can download it on your phones, and then you can subscribe. On there I put the top stories of the day, 2 to 3 every day, with the exception of Saturday, because I like my day off. So we might put a poll or a quote on Saturday, but every other day is some links of our top stories. So please feel free to subscribe to our Telegram channel, inshallah. Ajiz, I mean my sweet and dear sister, you're welcome, Ajiza. Really, it's such a beautiful blessing to have a new baby, alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum, Angela. How are you doing, and how is your family? Alhamdulillah, we're all doing well. Jazakallah khair for asking. I hope you are also doing well, Angela. In these live videos, got to set an alarm. I usually do them at your Eastern time now. I usually do them at around 1:30 Eastern time every Tuesday. So please feel free to join me every Tuesday. Layla on and off. It depends on her mood. Today she wants to play. But I don't normally vary the time, but unless there's a reason. So please feel free to join us every Tuesday, 1:30 Eastern time. And I have to work it out now. 5:30 GMT and 8:30 Mecca time. Oh, that's hard to do without the internet to check. If you want to subscribe to our newsletter, which we do every Sunday and which we normally pull the stories for Trending Tuesdays, you can subscribe. And here is the link. I've just dropped that as well in the comments, inshallah. So feel free to subscribe. It's free. You don't have to pay. We also have a group for our new Muslim brothers, not new Muslim brothers, let's just say converted Muslim brothers and sisters, because some of us are converted many years on there. So if you want to join our group, if you are a convert, or if indeed you're not, but you can help, or you just want to learn about the deen, feel free to join us. You have to answer the questions, though. If you don't answer the questions, you will be refused. Our group is called About Islam, Supporting Converts. Please feel free to go over there and join us, inshallah. Oh, we have 2 new things to talk about. Well, how many of you like to write? How many of you like to blog? How many of you would like to get your opinions out there? On our website, on our actual website, we have a blogging spot, and we are asking for blogs, brothers and sisters. So if you enjoy writing, we do not accept political blogs, okay? Anything else regarding the faith, regarding the religion, no politics. But if you want to write for us, please feel free to do so. And I'm dropping that link into the comments now, so that you can go over there, you can submit a piece of your writing, and inshallah it will appear on our website. It's voluntary, I want to point out. We do not pay for the blogs, but if you enjoy writing and you like to get your opinion out, it's a good way to do that. And last but not least, if any of you need some one-to-one counselling with one of our paid counsellors, either Sister Naila or Brother Kareem, and they do live sessions every month with us on About Islam, please feel free to, we have set up a special counselling services one-to-one with Sister Naila or Brother Kareem. It's up to you who you choose. They have done discounts for people who follow at About Islam. And if you really need some support, and you can just click on this link, go and see what their deals are, because they've done some good deals with us, and you can go over onto and arrange appointment to speak to our counselors one-to-one, inshallah. So that's all the links I have. That's quite a few, but it's because we are very busy trying to come up with new advice. New things for our audience. Alhamdulillah. So I've just pinned the blog one up there in case you want to submit your writing. Sister, I ask a question just for you to know, not for criticize someone. That one reason is a big reason of divorce of wife and husbands in Europe between non-Muslims. Please, if you not mind then to explain, because I read and see every day. Divorce between non-Muslims, the biggest reason, I don't know. There's many, just like there are, I suppose, between Muslims. It could be somebody being unfaithful, or it could just be that they are not compatible and they find out, along the line. There's many reasons why people divorce, whether they're Muslims or not. So it really just depends, I suppose, on what that individual couple are going through. But I don't know any statistics or anything like that. So it can be a number of reasons. But divorce is on the rise everywhere. It's on the rise in Muslim countries as well as non-Muslim countries, although it's been rising in non-Muslim countries for a while now. I have to state that if you are in a unhappy marriage or you are in an abusive marriage, then you shouldn't stay in that marriage. I mean, divorce is the most halal thing that Allah hates. So he doesn't like it, he hates it, but he understands that it's better for somebody to divorce if they are having a troubled marriage than to staying together and being unhappy and miserable. This is not what we're here to do. So if you are in a marriage that just can't be saved, not necessarily an abusive one, but let's say you're both good people, but you're just not compatible whatsoever, and it can't be saved no matter, and you've tried counseling and you've tried to have an intermediate person, and the only solution then is divorce, then that's what you have to do. And the same, definitely, if you are obviously in an abusive marriage, you have to divorce. Should you divorce if your husband or wife has been unfaithful? Again, that depends on the individuals. Some people can forgive, some people can't. If you feel that you can forgive the person, then and you can give it another try, then okay. But if you can't, there is no reason for you to stay together. So, people divorce for many different reasons. And no matter whether they're Muslim or not, I don't think it really matters. But we have to make sure, as long as it's not an abusive marriage, that we have done everything we can to try and everything before it comes to divorce. If it's an abusive marriage and there are ways for you to get out of that marriage, then you have to, because you're not here on this earth to be used as somebody's punching bag or anyone else. And if somebody is treating you in that way, they don't deserve you. And you have to try and get the courage to do what you can, obviously, to get out of that and get the help that's required, because it's a lot easier for somebody to sit and say, get out of the marriage. It does require steps and it does require counselling, but eventually your aim is to get free of that kind of marriage, because that is not even acceptable in any terms, whether you're a Muslim or not. So inshallah, no one here is suffering from that kind of marriage, but if you are, please get the help to get out of such a marriage. Well, that's it from me this week, inshallah, ladies and gentlemen. See you soon, Jules, inshallah. Love to you and your son, and hope inshallah he's fine. I just want to give dua again. First, let's remember all of the martyrs who died on Friday in New Zealand. May Allah grant them the highest level of paradise. Ameen. And all the people all the Muslims in New Zealand, may Allah give them patience and comfort at this time, because it's very difficult. And may Allah, help all of oppressed Muslims all around the world, inshallah, in situations that seem really difficult, but may Allah help them out, and may Allah grant them comfort and ease, inshallah. And may Allah also
grant me
bless all of you, dear brothers and sisters, lots of blessings, lots of love, lots of health, and a very good week until next time, inshallah.
And the one who has a baby, we will make dua for her, inshallah, and make your baby feel nice and safe, especially when she grows up.
Inshallah. So that's all for me this week. I will see you all next week, inshallah.
And me too.
Have a good week. Stay blessed. Stay safe. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.